Okay, so let's have a good look here. Just missed the first frame, so we'll check it. But setup looks okay. Alignment's not always hundreds, but setup looks okay. We can see, the club moving inside already, so that's kind of very low and flat inside. All right, and then obviously gets the backswing offline, but also gets you kind of to stand up a little bit. Can you see how you're changing your height and distance from the ball there? Okay, so that's quite difficult, right? So we would want to maintain our distance from the ball and our head and chest position throughout the backswing. Okay, so obviously it's going to be offline. Grip, club face, all that's quite cool. All right, then we come down and we try and rotate back to where we were. Okay, but you can see the body stall and the hands kind of flick. Right, and this one closes quite dramatically. Now, if you get that timing a little bit wrong, okay, then there's problems. Okay, and then obviously leaning back with the balance there. Okay, so we just got to kind of neaten this thing up and then straighten it up, which we already started to do on the back nine. Okay, so setup looks great. Just a hair to the right, which is fine. So let's watch the swing in motion first. You'll see the things I'm talking about. Okay, so a lot of movement, obviously, you can pick up on the backswing, and then very little to no body rotation through the golf ball. Okay, that's obviously what we spoke about on the back nine, or the start of the back nine. Right, from there, look, setup looks great, very happy. Okay, club looks a little bit shut at address, but we'll figure that stuff out as we go. Okay, we're going to see the same things here. Take away a little bit inside. Not as much standing up. Okay, but you can see the shoulders, everything are offline. They're all kind of in that direction over there. So we need to straighten that up. And then from there, sort of reroute, throw the hands, stop the body. Okay, so it's going to be very inconsistent. Okay, once we got the body working better on the back now, we can start figuring things out. Okay, we'll see the same things again. Okay, so a little bit offline, a little bit of movement, and then basically hitting the ball with a stall and a flick of the hands. Okay, whereas obviously we want the body moving freely through impact. Okay, transition position and setup position are probably your two strengths. And the weight shift and the ball striking is good. Okay, but you can see if I stop the club there, almost don't know if you're at setup at it or address. Okay, I mean I do know, but obviously it's almost quite hard to tell. But setup and address, setup and strike, setup and impact. All right, and setup position and impact position are definitely not the same. Okay, but we can't quite tell that. All right, but I'm sure you get it. Hey KB, thanks for a lacquer morning. Good to meet you, mate. And obviously brilliant back nine there. After we had a bit of a chat, really lacquer day despite the weather. Right, so you can see from your videos there. So three fundamental things we need to change, right? The third one, which is obviously what the sort of end result that we want. You're already starting. You see the difference there from that delivery and balance, and how the club stabilizes on that tee shot on 3, obviously our 12th hole, compared to the other ones where you're kind of stopping and stalling and flicking the club head, right? So that's what we're after: consistent movement pattern through the ball, stabilization of that club face, and obviously way more consistent shots. Okay, from there a little bit of course management and alignment, and we're really good. So then the first two, which obviously going to be the hard work and some of the work we do here in the studio. Okay, obviously straight. The setup is great. Straight from the taker, really sort of rounded, very low to the ground, and even a bit of change in shoulder plane. Okay, we're looking for everything to stay the same. Okay, and imagine that club tracking on that tilted circle. Okay, you're sort of over here, and then over here, and then trying to route it back, and then trying to match it up. Okay, so basically, right, take away everything on line, okay, and no changing of height. So we're going to learn to turn our body there Okay, let the club follow, and then obviously no changing in height. All right. I feel like once we got that same idea of that movement pattern with the chipping, even the chipping was great. Okay, but we're going to have to do some putting work as well. All right, so we'll work on that stuff, do some putting work. Same fundamental ideas of the putting. All right, good alignment, no unnecessary movements or changes of plane, and stability of face through impact. Okay, and then we obviously can then set some goals in terms of, what we want to score, what we want our handicap to be, etc., etc., etc. Okay, so that's where we're at. Hope it makes sense. All right, so we'll get to work next week, I'm sure. And once again, look forward to working with you, mate. Okay, so some of the same stuff here. Okay, you'll see the backswing offline, you'll see the excess movement. Okay, but now a much better pass through the ball, use of your body. Okay, and you'll see what it does. I mean, we saw what it does to the golf shots. Okay, but all of a sudden that looks a little bit different, doesn't it? Okay, setup excellent. Okay, backswing offline and obviously a little bit of movement. But all of a sudden, impact and release. Look how much more stable that club face is in release compared to the flicks. Okay, compared to the hands flicking. Look how little flick there is in those hands now. Okay, and that's obviously what we're after, because then the ball goes where we're aiming.